I sing the truth to myself, I need that truth. And that's actually why I wrote the song, to just be a reminder in my own life. Hi, I'm Megan Woods, and this is my CCM cover story.
CCM! We're going to mostly focus on the past year of your life, which
Yeah.
I don't know you personally, but I assume it has been the craziest year of your life.
Yes.
Can you give me a run through? Just give me the timeline and what this experience has been like for you.
Yeah. Well, it's been so mind-blowing. I've been singing since I was 4 years old, so this is just such a dream come true. And God called me to sing for him about 3 years ago, and so I moved my life to Nashville. I was living in Massachusetts, and I moved here 3 years ago and started writing songs about Jesus, and that's when I found that doors were really opening in my life, when I fully just committed to singing for the Lord and what he's done in my life and how he's changed my life. So yeah, this last year has been so fun. I've gotten to meet so many people, but it all started in South Africa. It blew up in South Africa, my song, The Truth. And it's just really cool to see how even social media can just spread a song all over the globe. And yeah, I've gotten to go on my very first tour called the Let It Begin tour, which is so cool that it's called Let It Begin. And yeah, I feel like God has just grown me in this last year. I feel like I've been really close to Jesus too throughout it all. Just getting to see testimonies and just see what he's done in my life. And yeah, it's been such a journey.
Is it like you expected?
Honestly, no. I think it's like way more fun than I thought. I love traveling. I love getting to wake up on a bus and just be somewhere new and getting to actually see fans connect to the song, especially singing The Truth live every night. That's like my favorite part of tour right now. It's hearing them sing the truth over themselves and actually hear them believe those words. So it's been really, really powerful. And I didn't expect it to encourage me back. I thought when I wrote the song, it would be an anthem in my life and God would use it for people, but I didn't expect that I'd hear testimonies that encourage me in this season to continue doing what I'm doing and keep ideas in the room really relevant to what people are going through. Because I really am so encouraged, when I'm about to pack my suitcase to fly to a show, there's nights where I'm like, how am I going to do this? Like, how am I going to encourage somebody when I need encouragement or I need my cup full? And so seeing a comment like, the truth changed my life, or the truth kept me going, and gave me a strength, is just what really inspires me to keep doing what I'm doing. And it goes back to the heart of like why I started doing this.
So you're traveling all the time now.
Yes.
You're starting into the tour life.
Yeah.
How are you keeping your cup filled? What are you doing for Megan while you're out there doing for the world?
Well, that's so good. I think just finding time in the busy moments, like finding time in the car, in the shower to talk to the Lord. I think sometimes we as Christians feel like we have to come in this perfect place and, we have to come so perfectly to him and just in this perfect moment, but it can be in any moment. I'm always talking to the Lord and everything and just asking him for wisdom and strength. And also, too, I have an amazing team around me that love the Lord so much, and we are constantly on prayer calls. And I mean, my manager and his team literally are like praying for me, encouraging me, sending me scripture. So just having the right team around you is so important.
With all of the changes come, could you explain like the highest highs and maybe the lowest lows, and maybe give us a favorite moment?
Wow. There's some really powerful moments, especially being on the road with Big Daddy Weave. I mean, their hearts for ministry is so powerful and inspiring to be a new artist and see that. My favorite moment, though, was probably when I was at a pizza place after a show, and it was really close to the venue. So there were some fans that came into the pizza place, and a woman tapped me on the shoulder. Her name was Joy, which is like so funny. Her name's Joy because she was so full of joy. And she told me that she's walking through a season right now where she's fighting cancer and she's going through chemo. And she had told me that the truth got her through the hardest season of her life. And she shared with me when she looks in the mirror, she's seeing her hair that she's losing and she's identifying herself as like the trial she's walking through. And the truth was a reminder for her of her true identity, that she's a child of God and that even though she's walking through this hard season, it doesn't change who she is in the eyes of Jesus. So that was a really powerful highlight for me. And I remember sitting in my bunk or laying in my bunk that night, just like totally blown away that God could use the truth in that way. And so just stories for me like that are just what keep me going. And that was like a fave moment for sure. Man, a rough moment, I would say the shower situations sometimes are a little crazy. I think there was one day where I just like didn't shower. But I don't know. I think it's just great to like just make peace with the situation and just, laugh about it. Like me and my guitar player, we just like laugh. We're just like, oh, I guess it's not one of those days where we're gonna shower, and that's okay. And God's really called us to be out here. So it's definitely like not a luxurious kind of life, but it's so fun and I feel very called to it. And yeah, it's been really great.
That's wonderful. So let's dive back a little bit into the truth and the process of that.
Yeah.
Social media made the truth blow up.
Yeah.
Clearly, that was not the plan.
Well, I remember my team literally would always say, Megan, we got to figure out your social media and like how are you going to connect with people and grow this. And it's so wild because I posted 16 seconds of the truth, and in those 16 seconds it was literally like 3 lines of the chorus, and it literally started blowing up in South Africa and people just connected so deeply. And what I loved is just getting on TikTok to see people use the sound and sing it over their life and like see them sing those words as an anthem. And they were so bold singing it. And I just never knew that people could do that, and then slowly it started like really growing in the US. And so seeing it connect with all ages, like I see young girls sing it, young boys. I've had a woman come up to me in her 70s say this song means so much and I struggle with what I see in the mirror. So that's been like the biggest thing for me. It's been really, really cool to get to see stories I would never see in person. But yeah, and but writing the truth was a crazy moment because it was actually the first day I met Matthew West, my first ever time writing with him. And I remember just telling him the story of my life and just have always struggled with my worth. And I always struggled believing I was good enough. And I always felt small in rooms. And I was sharing with him, like, even though God was calling me and opening doors, it was still a struggle for me to really like understand I belong in this room. Like God's opening this door in my life. And I just shared with him just things I've gone through. And I remember I had a song title because I always start with song titles. But the song title was My Father's Child. And I remember Matthew like read it and he was like, I love what that says. And we just kind of knew from then, just after sharing my story, that every line of this song was going to be about who we are to Jesus and like how he sees us and how he views us and the truth of that. And I just wanted to be so real in the verse and just be honest. Like, how many times do we hear the same line in our lives over and over in our heads and we believe it? It's so easy to believe it, but the still small voice of God tells us this is where you find your worth. And so we wanted to make that voice just louder than the enemy's voice in this song.
So had the song been finished already when it went viral?
Yes. So actually this is so funny. I wrote The Truth about 2.5 years ago. It came out, I think it was like 2 years before it actually came out. And so um yeah, I had the song for so long, and there are so many parts that we rewrote. We rewrote the verse melody, we rewrote the whole bridge. So we were just like working on it for so long. And the first time I actually sang it live, before it was even out, a young girl named Carmen, she was 18, got saved at that concert through that song. And she wasn't even supposed to be at the concert. She came anyway. And that night she posted on social media, like, Jesus is my Lord and Savior. So that was really special. And I knew in that moment, like, there's something special in this song because I'd play so many shows. And when I didn't play that song, it would be powerful. But like, as soon as I would sing the truth live, it would connect in ways I can't explain. And so, yeah, that was a fun moment though. Like, the song wasn't even out yet and this girl's getting saved through the song. So, yeah, the journey of it's pretty special.
That's incredible. So like I said, we firmly believe that this is the song of the year. I think this is going to continue to be an anthem for generations to come. What is a song like that sticks out to you?
Wow. What a great question, because I grew up listening to Christian music, so definitely Praise You in the Storm, Casting Crowns. I grew up listening to it in the car. My mom literally found Christian music by Googling hopeful music during a really hard time in her life, and like as soon as she found Casting Crowns online, that's like what was played in the car all the time, and really it was like a foundation for my faith, and I learned scripture that way. So just to be able to see how God used Christian music when I was a little girl to now like getting to do Christian music and like the full circle of that, and also now like a young girl in the car hearing my song on the radio and believing those words, like that is, it's like something only God could do, you know?
Absolutely. I have two of those. They were here earlier. Both of my girls are absolutely in love with that song. And
Aw.
it makes me very happy as a mother to know that, I mean, I could say it, as many times, but it's never going to mean the same thing as coming from someone else. And I think every time they hear that song and I hear them singing along, I'm like, yes, Lord, just imprint that on their heart for a little longer.
Wow.
Like just make sure it stays there, that thought. So I think it's a tool. It's, obviously God's using it. I think one of the other things that you're going to see a lot of coming up is obviously girls like mine. A lot of young girls are going to look up to you. Is there anything that you specifically would want to say to them?
Well, I would just say that Jesus loves you more than you could ever fathom. And no matter what someone in school says, no matter what you think you are, like that does not change the truth. Like the truth is the truth. And you are a child of the King. And he made you so perfectly in his image, exactly how he wanted to craft you, and you are a masterpiece to him.
So the song, The Truth, and I believe both are kind of formed out of your own struggle, with self-worth and self-image and all these things. How would you say the last year has affected that? Have you found new strength in that area, or has, the enemy kind of come at you in those areas?
I think, there's a lyric in The Truth that I love so much. And it says, I know the lies are always going to try and find me, but I've never been so sure. So, I think that I still struggle every day with feeling good enough just because of like the rooms I'm walking into and the things that God's doing in my life. And it's pretty like crazy to believe this is actually happening and God's using my music this way. But I think that God is giving me just a bigger voice on stage. I used to be so afraid to talk on stage 4 years ago.
Really?
Yes. And
You
now,
totally do not give off that vibe.
wow. Well, it's only the Lord. But yeah, 4 years ago when I would lead worship, I was so afraid to say 2 words on stage. And now getting to just walk on a stage and just share the gospel and share my heart and like what God's done in my life and just be bold about it. So God's growing me in that way. And also just like to love people and love people well, and shine the light of Jesus in every moment I can. So he's growing a lot in my heart, and yeah, I'm just really grateful. But yeah, I mean, I still struggle every day, and I sing the truth to myself. I need that truth, and that's actually why I wrote the song, to just be a reminder in my own life. So just to see that connect and to see so many people go through the same thoughts I've always struggled with, I feel not alone.
I think it's one of the most relatable. I mean, all of your songs so far are so relatable, but as a woman, I look at it and go, "Oh my gosh, she is like reading my email. What is happening?"
Wow.
But I think it's because we all have those struggles, and I think it's such a great encouragement.
Wow, that's
Very
amazing.
well done. Okay, so big milestone moments that have happened over the last year. You got to
Wow.
debut at the Grand Ole Opry.
Yeah,
That's pretty epic.
that was so mind-blowing. Oh my gosh, I'll never forget it. And my favorite part is my grandma flew in. She's 80 years old, and she came, and she was just crying. There's a picture of her in the sound check, because I was on stage and she was in the audience, and she has a tissue and she was crying. So it was really beautiful for her to see that, and she was just like in awe of it, because she grew up listening to Dolly Parton and country artists. So yeah, that was really, really special, and I'll never forget that night. What a night.
That's incredible. You've also walked into your first award shows as a nominee.
Yeah.
Kay loves your performance, amazing.
Oh, thank you.
And this year you're nominated for Doves, which is incredible.
So crazy.
You've already achieved all these big things. What's the next goal?
Man, it's so funny because I feel like it's easy to think of like, okay, what's next? What's next? Like, and put that pressure. But I feel like I'm just allowing myself to just, in any room I walk into when I'm writing, just write from the heart and write from a vulnerable place that is going to connect and just feel like this is 100% stripped down and just what I'm feeling and what God's doing in me. And I feel like God has the rest, and if he wants to use the truth, at the Caleb Fan Awards to sing it live for people to hear on TV, then he's gonna use it. It's really like up to him. But yeah, I'm just so happy to get to do this. Like it's a dream for me to use my voice in this way and just to see like lives literally change too. I can't express how life giving that is.
You've talked a lot about your team
Mhm.
and how you've moved to Nashville. Do you have a community here? Or do you have a church family? What's
Yes.
keeping you rooted as you're
Yeah.
growing and going?
Yeah. Well, I have an amazing church at home that I tune into if I'm on the road on Sundays. And I have an amazing church here, like 10 minutes from where I am. And so, yeah, I feel very blessed to have so many people around me. And I have like so many people that will text me from home, just, I'm praying for you and I'm lifting you up. And hey, here's a scripture today. Like, have you read this devotional before? So many things. And also just being on the road. I mean, and I had this feeling when Big Daddy Weave asked me to be on the road with them. I kept hearing in my heart like this is gonna change everything for me spiritually because they just love Jesus so much. It's so contagious. And I've seen them pray over every single seat before every show, and I've seen them love people behind the scenes. I've just seen people literally living out their lives the way they are on stage. And that to me is so encouraging. We also had a pastor on the road,
Oh,
so that
that's so
was
good.
so amazing. So we'd have prayer time. And yeah, I think just being around people that love Jesus so much is everything.
We actually got to go to the Let It Begin tour, one of the first dates in Kentucky,
Oh my
and we
gosh, the
took our
Bowling Green.
kids. Oh yeah, Bowling Green. It
That
was
was so memorable that
it
night.
was amazing, and I that is the one thing that we've told people when they go, don't expect just to go to a concert. You're not
No,
going to a concert.
your life's gonna
You
change.
were going to a worship service.
Yeah.
And I didn't expect that, but it was such a great thing, especially for our children to walk in and be excited to see everyone, but
Yeah.
also to look down and there they are with their friends and their hands are in the air and their eyes are closed and they are
Yeah.
fully immersed in worship. It
Yeah.
is such a different experience than going to a concert.
I know.
And you guys have just killed it.
Aw.
It's unlike any other tour that we've seen.
Yeah.
So,
Every artist tells me that it's like the most special tour they've ever been a part of.
yeah,
And so to have that be my first tour,
that's pretty amazing.
it's like I'm just blown away God would allow that for me and to just get to learn from them, and how I want to do things on the road and the artist I want to be.
Yeah. God set the bar high.
It's so
Your
cool.
next one's gonna be even better, which is hard to even fathom, but it will be, I have no doubt. Do you have a favorite worship song?
Ooh, goodness of God, always. I feel like I'm always singing that like in the shower, like just humming it. It's like just my life worship song. It's God's been so good in my life, even in the moments I haven't really seen it, like in that moment. I look back and I'm like, man, even when I didn't know he was working, he was. And now that I'm on this side of like, wow, I'm doing ministry, I just see like moments where it's like my mom was used, my dad was used in ways to like get me to do things that would prepare me for this and just how he's always loved me my whole life and he's given me so much grace. So that song, I always sing it live too, which I
It's so
love.
good.
Yeah, I love how powerful that moment is in my set.
I think that needs to be a collaboration in the future.
That is like my all-time dream to
If
collab with
I can make that
CeCe.
happen for you, I totally will.
Girl, that would be a dream for me.
Somebody put in a word with CeCe.
At the Caleb Fan Awards, it was so funny. I sat next to my mom, and it was so special because her and I would always sing Christian music in the car together. So, like, what a moment to be sitting front row at the Caleb Fan Awards with her. And after I performed, CeCe was walking across the stage, or just like kind of in front of me. And I was sitting with my mom, just literally telling her about CeCe, saying, "Can you believe like 3 years ago we were like singing that CeCe song, and now we're here?" And CeCe comes up to me and she's like, "Girl," and she like shook my leg. She's like, "That was amazing," and I was like, "I love you."
That's what I would have done too. I would have been like,
I know.
I don't know
So
what to
I
say.
just listened to her as a little girl. So that was a total God wink, you know?
Yes.
But yeah, that was a really special moment.
So you haven't put out a full album yet. We've gotten 3 amazing singles from you. I think everyone at the CCM team believes that The Truth is Song of the Year for sure.
Oh.
Obviously, it exploded, and it's opened all these doors. Is there going to be an album?
Yeah, so I'm working on an album right now, and you can expect in the fall, I have an EP that's coming out, which I'm so excited about because it's kind of like a glimpse of my life the last 3 years and just a glimpse into like what God has done and how he's changed my life for the better. And so I'm really just dying to get these songs out into the world and let people hear them.
So you're actively recording while in the process of touring,
Yeah.
so it's nonstop.
It is, yeah, but I love it. I'm, like, such a nerd. I love being in the studio and singing a vocal and just getting lost in it, so I actually just finished my EP. I cut the vocals, like, literally last week to finish everything, and it was literally the best week ever. Like, I love it so much, and I felt really refreshed too. I feel like it kind of brought me back to when I first wrote those songs because they were demos for a while. But it brought me back to when I first wrote them and singing them in this season of my life after like what God's done this last year was really powerful for me. So I really needed that. Recently, I walked through a season where I was going through TMJ issues. I have that disorder where your jaw clicks and gets tight and causes pain. So I was walking through a season of depression, just wondering like, is my jaw gonna actually like work okay? Is this gonna affect my voice? And I had a moment where I actually, like, couldn't even sing my song "The Truth," and it was coming out, and I was really afraid that I wasn't gonna be able to do this, and I was questioning, like, "Am I really called to this?" And so, I was dealing with all that in the studio, and I thought it was gonna be about something that was, like, clever and cool, and I remember just hearing, my co-writer, Ethan Hulse, like, just play the piano, and I just kept hearing the word "believe." And I just remember hearing like, "I believe you," and literally just came from that moment, and I can't even tell you why I thought believe, but literally from that moment, I just knew, like, this is supposed to be about the heart cry I felt of, like, "God, I believe that I'm gonna get through this season, like, with you, and you're fighting for me, and I can't see the light right now, but I have no choice but to surrender this to you because I know, like, you have it." And, the song was born, and we wrote it from that struggle. And, yeah, I walked out saying, "I didn't expect to write about that today," but God really just wants to use our stories, you know? So I knew he was just trying to, like, dig that out of me, and, yeah, that was really special.
Well, I think your stories are just gonna continue to get bigger and better, and you're gonna have so many wonderful things to write about, and I can't wait to hear what the future has. My
Thank you
last
so
question for
much.
you is, what's the title of your song today?
Mm, man, I would just say, like, hope. Yeah. I feel like that's just a word I keep hearing, like, I feel like I don't know, I God's just really done so much in my life, and I just feel like it's so powerful when we put our full hope on Jesus, like, he is our only hope in this world. I could have the worst day, and it's like but I, like, know I have an amazing relationship with Jesus, and I know where I'm going, and whatever this world brings, I think that's so encouraging to just cling on to the hope of Jesus. CCM! Thank you so much for watching my CCM cover story. I'm Megan Woods, and it was so much fun. You can check me out on social media at Megan Woods Music, and stay tuned for more music coming soon.